If the US dollar index goes up, that's going to make the Forex markets trend. The Japanese yen, the British pound, the Canadian dollar, and the other markets, they are all going to trend. That gives us a chance to put on a very small position and hold it for months and see what kind of profits we might make. Now, the last 4 days, I've noticed that the dollar index surges at exactly this time each day. And as I marked this out and shared it in our premium group, I noticed that the dollar index is making a downtrend with a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, breaking a parallel channel. And if it breaks up from here, this is a trend change signal that I practice and I look for all over the place. If we go out to a longer term view and we take a look at the dollar index to see where it's pulled back to important support and resistance, and if we step out to an even longer term view, we can see how the US dollar index is bouncing off support and resistance levels from the past. We can see the US dollar index is now at the same level that we were back in the 1980s. It's an incredibly important support and resistance level all the way along here. What this gives me the idea is that the US dollar index could be trending higher from here, and that gives us an opportunity to trade a trend in all of the other world currencies. For example, the British pound may trend down from here if the US dollar index is going up. That gives us a beautiful potential 1, 2, 3 top formation setting up here in the British pound right now, where I've taken a short and had to redeploy that short after the candle wicked here. And now we have this reversal hammer candle inside a potential 1, 2, 3 top formation. If the British pound breaks down below these levels, it's an important trend change signal for me in my trading system. Another market that I've been actively watching for the 1, 2, 3 formation is the Canadian dollar. And as we're making the 1, 2, 3 and retesting from above, consolidating and make another 1, 2, 3, I was fortunate enough to get a long position in the Canadian dollar here, and I've got my stop above the entry. Should the US dollar index trend higher, the Canadian dollar is probably going to be trending higher from here as well. And from my own political view, the Alberta Sovereignty Act is probably going to dissolve a lot of confidence in Canada as a currency. So I'm thinking this may be trending as well. And another chart I'd like to take a quick look at is the Japanese yen. As the dollar index was doing its dance, I was watching for the yen to make a bottom formation. At about the same time, I was watching the Canadian dollar, and I was able to get a position in here. My stop is above my entry. And so now if the Japanese yen continues to go higher from here, I would expect, and it wouldn't be a surprise to me, that prices go to the 50% level. And so if the Japanese yen makes it up underneath the support and resistance level, this is kind of where I'll be looking to take profits. Maybe if it comes up under here, 1, 2, 3 top formation. And we'll see if this is where the US dollar index starts to trend. This may be a little bit early in where to take profits. I may want to just follow with my stop up along. So if this kind of trade is interesting to you, you may find it even more interesting to know that you can trade these markets over on SimpleFX.ca, and you can use Litecoin, stablecoin like US dollar Tether, or Bitcoin to trade any of these markets. And so I was fortunate enough to take a short position using Litecoin up at the top here in the British pound. And I'm at 50 times leverage. So my little Litecoin trade there could turn into some serious profits over the next while. And you can subscribe to this channel and follow along as I report on how this trade actually turns out. You can learn more about this trading approach over at introdocryptos.ca. I use these very same strategies on crypto markets, on Forex, and on commodities. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear those down below. Trade safe and keep those losses small.